Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to check fresh release from Flyhawk company. This is a 1/700 scale ship and it copies German battleship Bismarck 1941. Obviously, as it's written here, it's an assembled model kit, and note that this is a part of full hull series from Chinese manufacturer. And now we have a chance to check this commercial sample, which is actually the same as what you get if you order it directly from Flyhawk. So as you can see, box style is typical for this manufacturer. We have not just a simple box art, we have painting of this ship on the front, and here you can see comparison with my hand. So as you can see, it is quite wide box, but it is also thick and heavy. So here you can see also side of the box we have QR codes for the contact and kit info page. From the other side we have also warning notes and small pictures of other kits available from the same manufacturer. So now let's open it. This is a top opening box, and here is what we have inside. So straight away we have this nice small, let's say, postcard, I would say, but it can be even a poster. So as you can see, it is printed in color. It copies what we saw on the box art, and it should be a nice addition to your workplace. Here on the rear side we have short history note in several languages, as well as specifications of the real battleship. Next we have assembly manual. Assembly manual will be checked in the end. Now I would like to start with plastic parts. As you can see, there are plenty of them, and as you remember, Flyhawk company is quite famous for their detailing of the plastic kits, because they really have nice quality. Doesn't matter which size, never you would see any problem with any of those parts from Flyhawk. So here we have first plastic bag. As you can see, it houses 3 plastic sprues, and 2, as far as you can see, are absolutely identical. So let's start with them. I will show only one, obviously, because there is no point in showing them. Actually there are 4 sprues, but I will show you this, the smallest one, first, so that you can see what we have here. So here we have these parts for fine detailing, and molding quality seems to be fine, but note the size in comparison with my fingertip. These are really tiny elements, so be ready to work with sharp tweezers, because otherwise it will be really tricky to get anything into the right spot. Next we have slightly bigger frames. Here we have whole set of masts, so here you can see them. These are really thin parts. Again, I will show comparison with my fingertip. Here we can see other masts, and everything is molded nicely. Note that even though all parts are really tiny, they're still molded in a crisp quality, so we don't have any flash or other possible molding damage. And note that there are even those fine detailing things implemented out of the box, so you won't have to deal with PE parts in order to copy it, even though I can imagine that PE parts are also included here, so we will have to use them, but we will check it a bit later. So that's another set of sprues, and one more is here. This one is full with various deck parts. So here you can see one small side, here you can see those superstructure parts which will be placed on the deck, and again these are molded as one-piece parts. Despite their shape, despite their complex structure, as you can see, they're detailed inside out, and that's really amazing in my opinion. And here you can see another plastic sprue. Again, impressive molding quality level. And what is really good about the plastic from Flyhawk is that it's not that, let's say, tender. So you can do, you can be, let's say, less careful, but in a good sense, because we all had the models or the plastic where you just try to cut something off and you end up with broken part. Well, this is not the case. As far as I remember, I was assembling the tank from Flyhawk and was really quite easy and fast experience, even though some parts were absolutely tiny. So here you can see another pair of similar frames. We will show you only one. Here we have these huge turret parts, and they're molded as one-piece parts. And by the way, it is approximately the same size as Luke's tank in 1/72 scale from the same manufacturer. So as you can see, barrels are molded out of the plastic. And as far as you can see, they feature these nice ends, so you won't have to drill anything. They should be looking good out of the box, and that's really cool. And moreover, they're movable, because as you can see here, we have this special installation slot, so you can adjust them in whatever position you would like to. So next we have another pair of identical frames. Just let me focus the camera so that you can see that they're the same. Here they are. Let's zoom in a bit, and now I will show you one of those. Here we have again various masts, so here you can see them. Really nice molding quality, once again I will repeat it, but what is even more interesting is level attention to small features on those parts. That's really amazing, and I appreciate that Flyhawk decided to have this quality in 1/700 scale. Next we have another plastic bag. This one is slightly opened, I don't know why, so I'm going to remove all the sprues out of this plastic bag. And again we have pair of the frames. So first one is dedicated to the, they're all dedicated to the turrets. So here you can see first type. Again we have top part molded as a one-piece element, and note the attachment points placement. They're placed right on the edge, so that you won't damage the side of the part. That's also quite a useful feature. And here you can see these plastic barrels, which are approximately the same as what we saw on the big turrets just a few seconds ago. Next we have another set of turret parts. These are a bit different, so here you can see them. Let's focus a bit. Okay, now they should be visible. Again, plastic barrels, again, one piece top section, and everything looks cool. And on the next sprue, I recommend to take a look at the attachment points. They're quite thin and easy to cut through. That's also a useful feature, because sometimes you get tiny parts and then you try to cut them off, and it's not that easy due to the wide attachment points, but that's not the case with today's kit. So again we have two absolutely identical frames. Here we have, for example, lifeboats, which are molded as one-piece parts. As you can see, they should be easy to separate as well. And next we have also a pair of the sprues for aircraft, which were serving on this battleship. As you remember, these were Arada 96 as far as I remember. So we have fuselage molded as one-piece part, and you just have to attach the wing and various external elements, such as, for example, cowling here. Otherwise it should be easy to assemble these parts together. Next we have, actually there are plenty of plastic bags, so here we have another one. This one is dedicated to lifeboats, as far as I can see, and also several other frames, so just give me a second. They're connected, or let's say hold in place with help of rubber band. So I just trying to understand what we have to do in order to remove these frames out of the interconnection. So here you can see these two absolutely identical frames with the turrets. And next we have lifeboats. So lifeboats are molded like this on two frames. And one more sprue. This one is for AA guns, which are carefully replicated in form of these tiny parts. Here you can see comparison with my fingertip. When I say tiny, it means tiny, like absolutely impressive size for such molding quality. Next we have bigger elements, but I don't want to start with them. I would like to finish with small frames because we have several more. As you can see, there are 2 more bags. So just give me a second to open one, and then we will open the second one. So what we have here is again pairs of the spruce, and I'm just trying to understand if they're maybe even identical. No, they are not. So again, there are 2 types of the spruce. So here you can see them. Those are turrets as far as I understand. So let's focus the camera, and now we should be able to see them. Don't forget that again, top section is molded as a one-piece part. So you just combine it together with lower section and you're good to go. One more plastic bag before we move on to large parts in this kit. And here we have surprisingly mix of various spruce. Why? Because first of all we have here these lifeboats. They're molded in the same style as previous parts we saw before, so we have them as a one-piece parts. Next we have those minor elements. I'm not even sure what is this. We will have to check the assembly manual. And one more is for various turrets, but the smaller ones, here you can see them. So those are all small plastic frames, and next we have this. So those are 2 plastic bags with large plastic parts, which will copy various structures on the deck. So first of all, I would like to show you those large superstructure parts here. Let's focus the camera. Now you should be able to see it. It is really large, as you can see, especially in comparison with what we saw before, and it is molded as a complex shaped part, which is really impressive. Next we have this tube. Note the level of pre-molded detailing on this part. In this size it's quite amazing. Another superstructure part here. As you can see, it's part F1. Next we have various engine tubes here. And here as well. Next we have one more superstructure here. And another superstructure part molded like this. And inside we have obviously nothing, just guiding elements, but that's more than enough. Then we have one more plastic bag, that's actually the last one, with various parts. Here we have the main superstructure as far as you can see, and also some minor additions to this. So first of all, I would like to show you those 2 small frames which were inside. Let's focus the camera on them. Here they are. And note that amount of attachment points is reduced to the possible minimum, which is also quite good. Here we have part V1, as you can see, which copies another superstructure on this ship. And again we have molded in detailing, which will look good after some careful painting and pre-shading. Here you can see another one, that's part U1. One more is here. I'm not even sure what are those, maybe some storage areas. But as you can see, they're molded as one-piece parts. And another one here, where we have these parts which are placed on the deck. Next we have large hull part. As you remember, this is a so-called full hull series, so that's why we have it wrapped in the foam, and I will focus the camera so that you can see what I'm doing, so that it won't look like I'm just holding the foam in my hands. As you can see from both ends, it was secured with rubber bands, and what we have inside are several hull parts which look like this. They're really huge in comparison to what we saw before, and here you can see the bottom section. Inside we have quite nice design, I would say, which should ensure necessary rigidity, and overall molding quality seems to be fine. I can see that some elements are pre-molded inside this area, and that's also nice that Flyhawk finally started to use such, let's say, empty spots for some additional parts. So let's put it aside, and we have also this deck, which, as you can see, protected with help of these cardboard ends, because we have sharp ends on the deck, and that's why it is important to have such packaging. But here you can see also the level of detailing on this part. Let's focus, and now you should be able to see it. And here from the other side you can see all those installation points. So that's one deck, and also we have another insert which will be placed in the hull. Here it is, and again it is protected with cardboard from both sides. So these are parts for the main hull. Then we have also special lead weight which should be placed on the bottom of the model so that it won't turn over. It is not that heavy, I would say, but it should be more than enough for such kit. Next we have also plastic bag with cardboard inside, and we have here the decal sheet and PE thread. So as I said, it is not surprising that we have PE included here. That was easy to expect. So decal sheet is printed in cartograph. I will show you in a second. So obviously all necessary symbols are included, and you can combine those symbols out of those separate decals, if you know what I mean. And P part is only this one, surprisingly. So actually we do not have full range of P elements included into this kit, but as you remember, what we have in plastic is more than enough for detailed model. And then we have assembly manual, which looks like this. And let's zoom out a bit so that you can see it in a full scale. So first of all, we have parts map. Then assembly process starts with small turrets, and also we assemble the main hull. Obviously, it should be combined out of 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, and note that lead weight is actually placed on the middle level. Then here we have the engine fans, turrets, various minor elements, superstructure, assembly. That's a page 1. Then we go on the page 2. I just wonder when Flyhawk will actually implement the normal layout for the assembly manual. That's not that easy to manipulate, to read, and this vertical layout is actually not doing anything good to the model, let's say. Here you can see another assembly installation process for the superstructure based on the part. As far as I remember, this was V1. And let's flip it over, what we have here. Here we have painting and marking guide. So painting and marking guide obviously is printed in color, and we have paint numbers given in several manufacturer designations. And I just wonder what we have here. Actually here we have assembly manual for the Arada AR196, and also there are several aircraft to be built. There are options between them, so I'm not sure what will be the difference. Maybe the how aircraft will be held in place, because as you can see we have several types, and also we have marking guide, which is printed in color like this. So quite a nice kit from Flyhawk. and it should be already available for purchase on their official website or in any good model shop. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit here in the comment section below. If you like this video and you would like to help us, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for watching, and bye.